The first time my son ever begged me not to go to school, he was shaking. By the time we pulled into the car line, he actually threw up. All because of one teacher. And let me tell you, she picked the wrong mom to mess with. It took everything in me not to march in there and make a scene, but instead, waited. And for the next 3 years, I made sure her life got just a little bit harder, every single day. If you've ever had someone mistreat your kid and you wished you could get the perfect dose of petty revenge, smash that like button right now. This story is for every parent who's had to stay calm when all you wanted to do was scream. It all started at the beginning of last school year. My family had never ever missed a meet the teacher night. We're those parents, the ones who label the supplies, volunteer for field day, bring extra snacks. But that year life got chaotic. Work, a sick relative, you name it. So we missed the open house. And I figured it's fine. The school's amazing. They only hire the best. Big mistake. Because the woman my son ended up with was something straight out of a nightmare. 3 days into the school year, my son comes home sobbing. And not just bad day crying. I'm talking uncontrollable, hiccuping, red-faced panic. He was shaking so hard he couldn't even get the words out. Finally, he whispers, "Mom, my teacher screams at us. She makes fun of us. She said I was stupid." My heart just dropped. This is a kid who never gets in trouble. He's shy, sensitive, the kind of kid who apologizes if he bumps into a chair. And now he's terrified of going to school. I thought maybe he was exaggerating. So I called another mom friend. Her daughter's in the classroom next door. She sighs and says, "Oh honey, we can hear that woman screaming through the walls every single day." Apparently this teacher had a reputation. The kind of teacher who believed fear equals discipline. Who thought humiliation builds character. But the worst part, the school knew. And they did nothing. By the third morning my son wouldn't get out of the car. He was pale, sweating, whispering, "Please don't make me go." He threw up in the car line. That was it. I marched straight into that office and said, "My son is done. Move him. Now." And to their credit, they did. They placed him with a wonderful, kind-hearted teacher who helped him feel safe again. But the damage, it was done. Even months later, whenever he saw that woman in the hallway, he'd grab my arm and whisper, "That's her," like she was some kind of monster from under the bed. Of course, I had to talk to the administration. And you know what they told me? Her teaching style works for some of our more difficult students. Some kids need a stricter environment. I remember blinking at the principal like, "Are we talking about the same woman?" My kid was 7. Not a delinquent. Not difficult. Just a sweet boy who didn't deserve to be screamed at until he got sick. But they brushed it off. And that's when I decided, fine. If the system won't hold her accountable, I will. I wasn't about to do anything reckless. I wasn't going to yell or confront her. Oh no. I wanted something slower. Martyr. See, I'm a volunteer parent. Every week I help out in classrooms, office work, supply sorting, you name it. And guess who relies on volunteers for all her little extra tasks? Oh yes, her. So whenever the list of teachers' requests came out, and her name showed up, guess whose projects mysteriously never got done? If she needed copies made for her class, oops, ran out of paper. If she wanted help organizing a bulletin board, ran out of time. If she asked for parent volunteers for her reading groups, no one ever seemed available. It wasn't loud revenge. It wasn't flashy. But it was constant. A slow drip of inconvenience. She'd come by huffing. Did the volunteers get to my request? And I'd smile sweetly and say, "Oh, you were next on the list. We just ran out of time today. Maybe tomorrow." Tomorrow never came. Over the months, I watched her start to crack. Her projects were late. Her classroom looked a little less perfect. She had to stay after school doing things she used to delegate. And every time she passed me in the hallway, she'd give this tight little smile, like she knew something was off but couldn't prove a thing. And honestly, that was the best part. Because she'll never know. Never connect the dots. never realize that the quiet, smiling mom she terrified a child for is the same woman who made her life quietly miserable for 3 straight years. It's been years now. My son's thriving again. He's confident, happy, and loves school. But every once in a while when I volunteer, we'll pass her in the hallway. He'll tug my sleeve, whisper, "That's her." And I'll nod, pretending not to care. But inside, remember. And I think to myself, you'll never get the satisfaction of knowing what I did. Because sometimes, revenge isn't about ruining someone's life. It's about taking back your power. One quiet decision at a time. I could have confronted her. I could have screamed right back. But instead, I chose something worse for her ego. Being ignored, being inconvenienced, being powerless. She made a child feel small. I made sure she learned what it feels like to not matter. And every time I see her scrambling after hours doing tasks she used to dump on others, that's my quiet victory. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud or cruel. Sometimes it's just justice, served cold and politely with a smile. If this story gave you chills, or if you've ever dreamed of seeing karma catch up to someone who deserved it, hit that like button right now. Comment below. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? I love reading your stories. And of course, subscribe for more tales of sweet, sweet justice. Because remember, sometimes the best revenge is patience.